Hey, how's it going, guys? Sean Mathis here, CEO and founder of Surefire Digital Media. Listen, if you're watching this video, I want to tell you that I'm going to be brief, but I'm also going to be thorough. Listen, if you're here, then chances are you're an insurance agent. You're looking to aggressively grow your business, but you're looking for something different. You can't keep going down the same rabbit hole and getting in the same hamster wheel that you've been in year after year with lead provider after lead provider. So I want to first and foremost tell you I understand exactly where you're at. I understand that you're skeptical, and the last thing you want to hear is a bunch of smoke and fluff and more of the same of these false claims that you're getting from lead providers. That is not what we're here to do today. I'm going to show you exactly how our system works and why our system's different and why I think you should give us a shot and at least take a demo of the system to see how other agents just like yourself are getting results with our exclusive leads. All right. So I always tell people that there's an 80-20 rule that's very real. All right. And it's not the traditional 80-20 rule about 80% of people do 20 or 20% of the people do 80% of the production. I'm talking about the fact that 80% of your team's time is being wasted chasing leads around, and only 20% of their day is actually spent quoting, binding, and selling due to the quality of the leads that you're working. And listen, this has plagued the industry for years, all right? The lead providers that you're traditionally used to working with are still doing the same thing today that they were 15 and 20 years ago when they first started, which granted, those things worked at that time, but they don't work anymore. You're dealing with recycled leads. You're not dealing with real-time data. What I mean by real-time is when you get a lead, that person did not just interact with that ad or with any ad for that matter. At some point in time, they might have at best interacted with an insurance campaign or asked for a quote at some point. Anymore, because the demand is so high for leads, you've got providers resorting to deceptive practices, going survey routes, offering vacations, and anything they can to get people to fill out information, and then they sell that off as an insurance lead. But the fact that they're not in real time is why you get the response from customers of, why are you calling me? Where did you get my information? So on and so forth. And you're scratching your head wondering, well, you just filled out the form. No, they didn't just fill out the form. That's not how the industry works, all right? And there's no true exclusive leads. Outside of live transfers, you're not getting a truly exclusive lead, all right? What exclusive traditionally means is it's just sent to you at that particular distribution point, but it doesn't mean that they've never distributed that lead to somebody else, and it certainly doesn't mean they're not going to distribute it again. So it's not exclusive, truly, it's just exclusive at that particular distribution point. It just means they're not sending it to 5 people at the same time, they're just sending it 1, but they definitely will recycle that lead again, and it is not in real time. So again, your team is wasting most of their day chasing around people they really have no business calling in the first place. There's no validation, there's no transparency, and there's no accountability with your lead providers. You have no way of knowing where the leads came from, where the data came from, what marketing was used, and whether or not the data is even legitimate, if the person's even interested. The only way you know is by picking up the phone and getting yelled at, hung up, and cussed at. All right, that's not going to happen with our system. And you've got no pipeline of consistent prospecting happening. You're getting a lead, but you spend all day long working on what you think is a lead, only to find out that they're not interested in the first place, thereby wasting your time, and you're not prospecting and following up with people from a week, a month, 3 months, 6 months ago, because you got supposedly people coming in today that are ready to buy, only to find out that they're not. With our leads, they're true exclusive leads. We don't have it, we're not a data warehouse. We're not sitting on a bank of data that we're just shuffling around and recycling people's information. These are real-time interactions. Every campaign that we set up for our customer is specific to that agency. All of the marketing is specific to your campaign. So those people that are interacting specifically with your campaign. That data doesn't get sold anywhere else. Unlike Facebook, Google, or any of these other platforms, they're selling off the clicks, they're selling off the data. It's all made for sale to all of your competitors. The moment somebody clicks on a Google ad that you're running or a Facebook ad that you're running, that person's now going to be retargeted by every other competitor that you have on the planet, thereby reducing your conversion rate. And even if that person came through your funnel, because they're being sold to, that click is sold to other people, they're also getting calls from other insurance agents because they've now been identified as being interested in getting an auto or home insurance quote. That's not what happens. Everything is self-contained. You're the only person that knows about the clicks happening on your ads and your campaigns. Everybody gets their own website so that we can track all of the data down to a granular level. And we've got 100% transparency so that you can see every single thing that we're doing. You can see all of the interactions your prospects have throughout our marketing funnel. And we use a cultivation process over time and a lead scoring mechanism that identifies the leads that have the highest probability to close. Listen, just because somebody filled out a form doesn't mean that they're actually interested in getting a quote. They could be searching for their 15-year-old that turns 16 3 months from now, right? Or they could be thinking about buying a Dodge Ram in a couple of months, and so they're just curious. That's not a lead. Our lead scoring mechanism gets rid of that person by making sure to identify that they've got multiple interactions and they have multiple opportunities to opt out of getting a phone call. And we let them know that you're going to get a phone call from an agent. That way, if they're not interested, they can opt out of that process. We use a targeted approach with over 1,800 data points to identify the top 3% of your ideal prospects in your market that are ready to buy. But we also continue to cultivate and stay in front of and prospect the other 97% that are interested today, because they will be interested at some point in the future. And we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to get that piece of business when they're ready. But we don't want you spending time prospecting those people. Our system will do that on autopilot. Here's search-based versus value-driven. Your traditional internet leads, compare auto insurance in Dallas, Texas. This is what they're doing in a nutshell to drive traffic. You can see your top lead providers are going to be using that method. You're targeting people that are 100% price-driven. They're looking for just to save money, no value there. And it's limited targeting because you're looking at keywords and phrases. All we know at this point is this person is shopping for insurance. We don't know anything else. We don't know their income, their marital status. We don't know anything. We just know they're looking for insurance. Thereby, that might be great for some people, but most people, if you want to get a client that's going to stick around, you want somebody that's been seated in value and that wants to have a real solutions-based conversation. What we do, by contrast, is we use a drip process, a cultivation process of educating our prospects over time about the facets of insurance that are most important, things other than price that need to be considered, like coverages, like service levels, claims, all of these indicators that they need to really be considering that other companies simply aren't marketing to. Everybody's marketing price, and that's why you end up having to sell price. If you don't market price and the lead isn't generated on the premise of price, then you don't have to have a price-driven conversation anymore. We've got over 150 different targeting filters to choose from. Again, these are truly exclusive, true real-time, disruptive marketing strategies. We don't wait for them to come find us. We find them. If they're the ideal person, we're going to start dripping on them. We're going to start cultivating them using our lead scoring tool to track all of their interactions. Then and only then, when they're interested, do we finally feed them into your system as a lead. And we've got our own CRM that they can go into, or we can integrate with your CRM, whether you're using a lead manager, you're using follow-up tool, Ricochet, whatever system, DYL, we can integrate with all of them because this is our proprietary platform. Here's just some of the examples of the data. Again, there's over 1,800 data points, but here's just some of the things that we're able to use and target to make sure that we get the ideal customer: age, gender, income, marital status, parents, newlyweds, occupation, incomes, interest levels, what types of homes and mortgages they have, what types of autos, year, make, vehicle, when their renewal is. All of this data we have access to. And again, we use an automation map that you have nothing to do with. All of this is handled by our team, but we give you the transparency to see what's going on. Here's an actual result from a client who started with us and closed over $46,000 of premium in his first 14 days using our system. We were prospecting the top 2,500 people that met his ideal customer demographic that he was looking for, and we're able to generate 110 sales opportunities or leads out of that 2,500 people that we identified as being exactly who he was looking for. And through that scoring process, we were able to find exactly who was interested, and he was able to close $46,000 of premium without wasting time cold calling or any of that nonsense, chasing around people who had no idea why he was calling, because these were true exclusive leads delivered in real time, conversations that were seated in value. We've got very, very comparable pricing to anything else that you're going to find out there, as low as $10 a lead at as high as $15 a lead. All right, but you're talking about true exclusive leads, true transparency to see exactly what's going on. We can validate everything that's happened. We can validate every single person's information. We can make sure that we validate exactly how they came through the system, what they responded to, and you get a notification of everything that's happening with the script to tell you exactly how to approach that prospect based on the piece of marketing that they're responding to in real time. By contrast, you're going to pay $10, $15 anywhere else in the market for nothing more than recycled data of somebody who at some point in time might have responded to something about insurance or searched the words cheap auto insurance in Dallas, Texas. That's why you're struggling. And I'm here to tell you that we have no contracts, no minimum lead requirements. Our system is set up to prospect the leads on autopilot, keep you on the phone with the top prospects based on that lead scoring system. It's the only marketing automation software out there specifically designed for insurance agents to get auto, home, life, and commercial premium. We can use this for any of those facets of your business. So reach out to us, give us a call, 469-300-5225, or visit us on our website at surefiredigitalmedia.com. You can also check out our Lead Genie automation system at insuranceleadgenie.com.